It wasn't me, John. It wasn't me. It was Ray. Don't you listen
Ray.
to him?
It's
Yeah,
on
it
video.
was.
I got video proof.
It was Ray.
Video
I was
proof.
playing it, but he said it. It wasn't me.
John, I love you. I have the utmost respect for you.
That's what he said.
Oh
Fellas, what a week. What a
Oh
week.
my gosh.
Hey, we've all been through the ringer. Is that a thing? That sounds a bit rude. Is that a rude thing, Ray?
It's definitely a turn.
I could say some other things, but you know what?
I don't want to be going through Ray's ringer. I mean, that wouldn't be a good thing, would it? Would it? Pawned? Pawned. Yes, look at this. Young William is now a porn star.
You gotta be careful when you're looking that up, folks, because if you look it up, you might go.
You don't want to look up Pwnd and Google it and look too hard. You don't want to do that.
I didn't know what it meant, Ray. I mean, I'd sort of seen the young folk using the term, but I thought, I don't know, I better check this out. And lucky I did. Because, you know, this happened to me a long time ago. I went looking. There was a band. I don't know if you guys ever had this band in the States. They were called Boyzone. They were quite big in the UK. They were an Irish band. Yeah, some good stuff. Anyway, quite liked the band. So I went looking for their website, boyzone.com.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
It was. It kind of wasn't what I had in mind when I got there.
More than you bargained for, didn't you?
There's a lesson there, folks. Make sure you buy the URL before you start your band. That's all I'm saying.
Excuse me, where's the boys?
I tell you, it's absolutely true. It's absolutely
this
true.
way, Ray. It's through the beaded area.
Well, I don't know if it's still a place you wouldn't want to visit, but it was enlightening for a young person like me, a young personage. Chaps, I'm not going to ask how you've been because it's all been tough for everybody, and we'll cover a little bit of that off. Not masses. We're not going to dwell on it, but we'll cover a bit. But I'm keen to hear more about where you are right now and your thoughts moving forward. Now I can see right above. Well, I can see above Ray as well. We've obviously got a little bit of a rebrand, folks. We're now the Rokk Show. Cloud Gaming, same as it ever was, but that's it. I do that every time. It's so hard, isn't it? That's what he said. So yeah, William, simply Pwnd Gaming. Have you changed your web address? Is it now simply?
Everything's getting swapped over. It was kind of struck me by surprise. I left for dinner to go with my folks and have a nice meal, and when I got back, the world ended. I couldn't imagine.
I know. Imagine if. Imagine if you were live at the time, though, William. That must have been awful for some people that were doing a live show. And
imagine the raw emotion that would come out.
I can't imagine.
Imagine your birthday. It's your birthday.
Imagine you tweet Stadia. Hey, it's my birthday. Thank you for Hot Wheels. We're closing.
Oh my god!
Happy birthday, Jeff!
I tell you, we can laugh now, but I mean, it was pretty rough, wasn't it? Ray, are you ready to announce your next moves yet, or have you? Because I watched you this morning.
I actually did. I said some stuff last night, and I said some stuff a few days ago, and it's just weird. I'm sitting here, Rokk. I kid you not.
Yeah,
I'm over here on the Stadia blog refreshing. I'm addicted. Wait a minute.
You're an eternal optimist, my friend.
But you know what? Every day is a different emotion. There's days that I'm sad. There's days that I'm angry, and then there's days that there's other people that are, unfortunate than me. They invested their time, their money to put something together for our entertainment and amusement, folks. And they have families and loved ones and livelihoods that are affected. And then I just want to give a shout out to the Stadia team. I love you guys. They did a fantastic job. I got people, you can say whatever you want, but the tech was amazing. You can't deny that. The tech was amazing. It is. Yeah. It's just I said this last night. I don't know if you guys remember the movie Back to the Future when you
this was a great analogy, Ray.
I'm gonna tell you this is what happened, folks. This is what happened, folks. In Back to the Future, you see my man doing the rockabilly and he's playing the electric guitar. He's back in the 50s. He's rocking out. And then he just starts going into the electric guitar and he starts getting heavy metal and everything. And the people are like, what in the hell is this?
Yeah.
Well, that's how people reacted to Stadia. They wasn't ready for it, folks.
Yeah.
That's a
Wasn't
great
ready.
analogy. Great analogy. When you said it this morning, I was oh, bang on, Ray. That's a great
Wasn't
analogy.
ready for it. You know, some people are still caught up with the consoles and stuff like that. That was a dream of mine. When me and my friends said, dude, wouldn't it be so cool if we didn't have to go and buy consoles and wait in line and sit here and wait for like 100 gig downloads? What if we just hit a button, boom, instantly play? That'll never happen.
It was the future, and we had it now.
Yeah. And Google Stadia did my dream.
Well, chaps, I don't want to pull you out your misery. But I am.
You went there, Rokk. You don't go there.
No,
Don't go there.
I asked what you were doing, not what Stadia was doing. I want to know what you're up to.
Piss.
It's scared me, John. It's scared me. Don't pull him off. Pull him off, John.
Everything's gone.
I'm sorry, but
It's Ray off the chain.
See, the thing is this. We'll cover it in a second because I've got it in the news, but we'll do some good news stuff first. And and it is. But I'm the same, Ray. For me, it's the stuff around it, not just the community, but the fact that we could stream to YouTube and we had the ability to see our friends. It's all that stuff because that doesn't exist anywhere else. But we'll come back to it in a minute, John. I saw your Hot Wheels video, your Hot Wheels stream. That was a low point, mate. I cried with you. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah,
it was a tough watch.
Yeah.
Are you feeling better now?
Oh, just like that William and Ray is saying himself. Go through different emotions there. It's definitely been a roller coaster ride of sometimes okay and accept it. Sometimes it just shake my head because it was all taken away in an instant, in the blink of an eye. I mean, last Thursday, Hot Wheels came out. I woke up, I saw Hot Wheels. I was like, oh my God, this is so freaking awesome. You know what? I called in sick to work. I said, I want to play Hot Wheels all day.
You must watch his John. Shush.
You know what? I don't care. I said, I want to play Hot Wheels all day. And boy, you know what? Right up until
it wasn't him.
Right up until that announcement afternoon Eastern, I was just playing with the people online. We were having so much fun. I felt so good. And then Rokk, just like you heard it, and I quickly, soon as I heard the news and I saw someone posted a picture, and it was just like, no, someone's faking this. Like, this can't be real. Are they folding it into something else? And then I was just like, I don't know. I think like we talked private, and it's some people might not understand. You're grieving, right? You're going through that loss just as if it was a family member, a friend, or whatever, is because all of us in the community are so well connected. We're such good friends. We rallied around this platform, really believed in everything. And you know what? And I still do, just like everyone said here. Like, Stadia is amazing technology. The Stadia team are awesome. They worked their asses off, and they gave us, I don't regret a thing. I wouldn't change anything that I've done over these last 3 years that Stadia has been in existence here and things like that. And I have the utmost respect and love for everybody in this community and the Stadia team itself. It's just unfortunate. My personal take on it is that this was a decision that was made probably a day or two before we got the announcement by someone or a group of people that were so far removed from Stadia and the project itself that they really didn't see that vision or understand what was going on. Well, but
I've already started to make the shift to other platforms and stuff, and I can tell you that the loss is visceral because you're losing so much ease of access, so much technology. I mean, I have to basically do everything to try to replace Stadia, and I'm still not there. I have to pick up a universal handheld to go play on the John or, you know, whatever. So it's a major
don't universally hold your hand on the John, mate, because you'll get wet. That's all I'm saying. Oh, dear. No, I know. And all of that stuff. And I agree with you, Ray. It's like, it feels like the old bean counters were given, well, fellas, you've got to get rid of something because we need to appease shareholders. What have we got that's not been around that long, that's not making a huge amount of money, and we were not massively central to what we do? Get rid of it. And that's
now how they went about it shocked me a little bit. This is on me. This is my interpretation of what would happen. I was never promised or told any of this stuff, but I took it upon myself. I just figured that we'd be grandfathered in at some point, and we'd be able to keep these games at least at 1080p forever. Yep. Even if they're like, hey, we're divesting, we're going to slow things down. You're not going to get updates. You're not going to get new games. Maybe one day we'll invest in Stadia again. But in the meantime, you can still go play what you purchased. That's what I thought.
The speed with which it was done was one of the major shock factors, I think. Because you literally, if you watched my stream on the night, Rokk, it literally went from message at the bottom of the website, store gone, blog post out, website stripped, boom. And it was literally like, this is intent, boom, 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 boom. And then, you've now got 6 months, play your games, and we're not going to guarantee the service up until then. We're going to give you your money back. And that's it.
Now, well, I mean, it's the equivalent of the PlayStation 15 or 18 months in going, hey, we made a mistake. Sorry, Sony's not going to be in gaming. Keep the consoles. We're just going to pay you. And that's incredible. Like, I've never seen anything like it. So it's very interesting the way it happened and how quickly.
For me, it's had the biggest impact, because a lot of people have said, is this likely to damage cloud gaming? And I think the answer is no. But I think what it does damage is the concept of a store which is like Stadia had within their walled garden, where you can't play those games elsewhere. Now, I know a lot of people will say, well, hang on a minute, isn't that the case with PlayStation? Isn't that the case with Xbox? And I agree, but we're talking about cloud, and I think in terms of cloud being so new,
I don't think it'll hurt the cloud at all. I really don't. But will people in conversation go, oh yeah, don't do what Google did over there? Like, I mean, that's going to happen probably. But the technology, those people that are talking about the death of Google, you're going to touch their tech again. You may not. I mean, it'll have a new GUI or whatever, and it's going to have a new coat of paint. But you're going to touch that tech again. So in that sense,
Ray's got something to say. Go, Ray.
But it also, I learned a lesson, because I actually went back to the YouTube video March 19, it was March 19, 2019. I looked at the video of the whole presentation from beginning to end.
The big press.
Okay. And I just sat and I watched through it. It made me realize that I'm not going to just jump and use my credit card and, I'm going to be kind of, skeptical sometimes now when I see big companies promise a lot of stuff.
A good salesman or a good marketing team can get you to almost buy into anything if they're talking directly to you and you're listening.
So they got me.
They said no hardware, and I was chasing graphics cards at the time because I was a PC gamer, and I was like, oh wow, no hardware, meaning in 3 years I can play a game that I don't have to. Oh man, I'm in that. I don't know. They were talking to me when they said no hardware.
I'm just like, service. You gotta, as a consumer, just be careful what you invest in. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, we'll come back to it in a minute, fellas, although we've done a fair old bit of chewing over it there. But so this is where it works right now. We were Stadia Rokk Show. The whole show was built around the release of the community blog on a Tuesday, as you guys know. Now, obviously, all of that has ended. I've seen people saying, but hang on a minute, Stadia's around till January, and I agree. As a consumer of Stadia, I'm intending and continuing to play games, but as a show, there's no news. That's
Right.
it. The news ended last Friday. We might get the occasional update on, when they're going to be paying back and who and how and so on, but not enough for us to continue as a show or as a channel. So we've all had to make that really painful decision to move on. And we feel like you guys do. None of us asked for this to happen. This was absolutely the last thing. I mean, we were all committed to Stadia 100 all the way. Ray, fair enough. Ray had spread his wings, and rightly so. And that's really put Ray in a good place right now. We're all playing catch up. So the show from today, and I've been working on the way this thing looks all day, is going to be cloud gaming. We're still going to be ourselves, and I know everything's a bit down at the moment, but we are our normal happy selves. We're going to bring that for you every week. We're going to cover news, but we're not going to do and there are 10 games today on this platform and 7 games tomorrow on that platform, because to be fair, that's boring. So we're going to find snippets of news. We're going to do Pwnd pro tips, so look out for those. They're coming up. And Ray, we're going to move away from Ray's praise, because as much as we want to keep the community together and we love the community, again, it was based on Stadia community content creators. So Ray's got a whole new feature, which is Ray's Spotlight. May change, but Ray's going to be looking at the games coming up in the following week. So we've got loads of stuff. It's all good. So chaps, shall we move on to the news?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Go.
Now, just to let's put some happy news out there, because literally the day after the hideous news broke, there was this amazing event, which was truly amazing. Now I'm going to let John give us all the stats and everything, but we were all part of this, and so the community, the Stadia community, got massively behind it. Nearly everybody had a massive raised massive amounts of cash for their charity. And it just showed you what the community can do when they get behind something. John, it was your baby, your brainchild. It was doubly hard for you because you were in that process that we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
You were right in the middle of it, and you still had to keep this ball in the air. But putting that to one side, because you did a stunning job. Give us the headlines. Tell us what happened and what's the end result.
Well, I just want to give a personal thank you to every single person that participated in the event, whether you streamed, whether you donated, whether you were able to come out, played along. Thank you so much, because I've heard from so many people that this is exactly, what we needed as a community in this specific time. I mean, originally when I was planning it for this year, it could have been the end of October, right? It was any weekend in October, but it just so happens that earlier in the month, everyone said, okay, I'm available. The most amount of people are available this following weekend. And you know what? It was perfect timing, because again, this is exactly what we needed. All coming together, supporting each other, and just being there for each other. It was so amazing. I saw so many people having fun there, raising money. And you know what, Rokk? I've just got in before we went live here, all the donation totals here, and grand total over $5,300 US.
Wow.
Yes. And you know what? That is more or equal to, I'll have to go back and look, for last year, where we did it every weekend in October. So we were able to raise just as much or nearly as much money in one single weekend that last year it took four or five weekends to do. So this was amazing. And it's just so heartwarming. And I know personally there were people on the Stadia team out there watching, donating. And it was, they shared the love too. And it's just, it warmed my heart in a time when I needed that, and to feel that love from everybody, and to know that, we can still make a difference, and we're generating and creating, you know, this amazing content and fun and raising money for these charities. It was so awesome. And, you know, these are one of the things, you know, Caring from the Clouds is going to be one of the things that I just like. I will never forget these memories, along with, you know, Stadia, the community, and everyone around it. Like, this is a lifetime. Like, it's a part of me. I'm hoping that next year we can kind of retool this a bit, and we can see you still have some type of community event where we can raise money for charities and things like that. So looking forward to that. But again, just a huge thank you to everybody. And I want to mention here too, a big shout out to Jack DeSlip, because without him, I wouldn't be able to do this and supply those prizes and giveaways. So a big shout out to Jack for helping sponsor this event here. And many of the people that won, I heard back from, they said, you know what, John, just can you donate it to the person's charity that I won the stream on? So, you know, yeah, it was amazing. So again, big shout out to everybody. Thank you so much, everybody. This was so awesome. And it was just, it made me feel, like I said, really warm, and put a smile on my face when I needed it the most. So thanks so much, everybody.
Oh, beautiful. And, you know, that's the key thing here, John, is that, you know, you have been at the heart of so many of these endeavors and events. You know, I think one of the saddest things of all is in many ways, this was it was almost a stake into you in many respects, because you were the heart of the community. You know, and I'm speechless, to be honest with you, mate, because you know how much I feel about you.
I know.
And I just think, you know, what you've put into the community, and the fact that you knew nothing and you were so close to so many people at Stadia.
It shows you how close they kept it to their vest. They didn't let anybody know, because if they let one person know, it would have got out.
No, but massive thank you to you, because if it wasn't for you, John, and the work you put in behind the scenes, that $5,300 would never have gone to all of those good causes. So I know, you know, you're a humble guy, and this is all a bit awkward for you, but I know the community feel the same way. Clive said it himself on his show last night. I think it's, you know, you're an absolute mensch, my friend.
Well done. A wonderful person. Love you, John.
Well, thank you. I love each and every one of you too. Like I said, I'm just one piece of the puzzle. We all together collectively make up this, you know, amazing community, and moving forward, I really do think like a lot will stay very connected, because we've made lifelong friendships from people around the world. Like just to take a look at us here now, right? Like Rokk, you're over in the UK. Ray, you're in California.
I'm in the
Williams
hood.
in Dakota. Yeah, you're in the hood, rolling in the hood there. Caps in your laps, right? So anyways. Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, it's
superb. Thank you, my friend.
Well, the community came out in droves for it, and we all got a chance to commiserate a little bit and reassure one another, and to start to make plans together, which is very important. You know, as I said, I want to drag as many of you, even kicking and screaming, as I have to get you to, you know, so we can keep playing, because the community was very, very special, and I do think we're all going to stay together.
I think, you're right, William. And I think the community was the one massive positive that came out of the whole thing. You know, the people that rose, like John, like yourselves, you know, to become much loved by the community, who, and ultimately could have been a bunch of Dr. Disrespects, but it turned out to be people like you guys. I mean, maybe putting Cowboy to one side.
You had a few. You got a few.
But Rokk, I just want to mention here before we move on here, a big shout out to you for in your stream too, because like I said, as soon as I heard the news, I quickly turned the stream on, and I was glued. My eyes were glued to it. I couldn't stop watching your stream, and you were there at a time. You know, the tears were rolling. I'm starting to get choked up a bit about it now too. But you were there when we needed it the most, and thank you. Just thank you so
bless
much.
you, my friend. Yeah, well, I mean, it was as much of a massive shock to all of us.
Yeah.
And on the day, I'm thinking, right, okay, I'm in a show. As much as I want to run out and check what's going on and sanity check it, I thought I've got people that are watching, and they need right now. What they need is somebody that they can focus on and do that for them and be there with them. And that was the role I took, and it came naturally to me. Even though I was 3.5, 4 hours in, come the end, I was seeing the numbers get higher and higher, and it was like twice as much as I normally see. And I thought, this is because they're not just rubbernecking. These are people that need consoling. They need to feel that they're amongst friends right now.
And the further you go, when you start branching out and checking out other ecosystem platforms, whatever you want to call it, you're going to see the limitations of those. Not that that it's bad or anything, but Stadia was something special, and it is something that I'm going to mourn for a long time, especially that backlog. I had plans.
That's why I love the event that you put on, John, because that was pretty much, I mean, I had all my friends playing the game. We had a great time laughing. It was actually, it was 3 days of, all right, well, let's pull it together, guys, and let's we got a job to do. We got money to
raise.
Thank you. I can't even talk because raise.
It is, yeah.
it's and I had like I said, I had someone call me and they were like and I was like, you know what? Guess what? If I could do this experience again, I would.
Yeah, I had so many people too. You wouldn't believe it. The trolls on the internet tagging me about my tattoo, and I had just the most vile words that they would say or try to send me. People on Facebook sending me messages. I had no clue who they were, but they knew through the the groups and stuff like that, sending me messages, and on Reddit too. And I was just like, you know what? Like, really? Like, do you have nothing better to do that you actually go out and seek out and send these messages? I mean, sure, you can't. It's fine. You don't have to agree with what I like. And maybe if you want to ridicule it, sure, do it amongst yourselves. But to actually come out and seek out or post on social media about it is just like, get a life. Like, how?
You know what, John? I genuinely think the reason that the Stadia community was different was simple. Stadia appealed to casual and slightly older gamers, more mature people. So you didn't have your bunch of 14, 15-year-old Fortniters who do that kind of stuff. That's why they, you don't see them in the community. They're on the outside, and they were suddenly allowed, or they suddenly felt they were allowed to come in and poke. But the reality is, I think this is what happens when you've got that kind of socio-demographic. People of a slightly older age, bit more mature, family people, people that appreciate other people. You've got to a certain point in life where you've got all that pathetic testosteronial stuff out of your bones, except maybe Cowboy. So, at that point,
man,
he knows John, I had to hear the smack from my son, who's a troll. All right.
There you go. I am calling Ray is old, Kel. We're all old. It's a fact. We're all Ray is what are you, 5 years younger than me, Ray, aren't you? You're coming up to your big 5.
8 or 9 years younger than you, Rock. I think
you're coming up to 50. What are you talking about? I know I'm old, but I'm not that old, mate. Don't wish it away. Struth. Anyway, listen. We're already in it, so we may as well cover it. I mean, we won't spend a long time here, but it is news, and that's kind of what we got to cover, right? We've looked at it from all various angles. We've delved into how we felt. We've delved into what impact it's had over the last few days. I'm interested to hear from you guys how you think they're going to handle the next few months. For example, John, can we say hand on heart that's almost certainly the last time we've seen a pro game, even though they've extended the pro until the end of the period? Do you think we're going to get to see From Space, for example, or any of the games?
I don't know. Like, I know, speaking with some developers, they still don't know what's going to be happening. I know that, yeah, Martha is dead. They're talking with Stadia about that, about seeing if they can release it on there. But ultimately, I don't know. I don't think we'll see. I wouldn't expect any more games to be released on there. I think they just cut the ties real quick and they said, you know what, done, we're finished. Here we go. We're going to give you to January the 18th. And you know what? I have a small feeling in my bones here that they may even shut it off before the 18th.
Yeah. Or
I don't know.
Least it's not going to run very well all the way up until the 18th. The plug has been pulled. So slowly but surely you're going to start to see games fail to load. And in my opinion, I think that's going to happen.
Right. You know, it doesn't make sense.
I think that window's more about the refund effort than about keeping Stadia going. That's it.
Right. Because why wouldn't they have just put December 31st, right? Like, why drag it on until mid-January? I mean,
they got a lot to sort out. That's why.
Yeah. And, you know, I think that we're not going to see, I really think, like, the refunds, they probably won't be done by then, because they have to sort through things and this and that, and then contact people, wait for hardware. Them.
They're refunding.
I can't believe it. I mean, that's like a kudos to Google for doing that, for giving everyone their money back on the games and the hardware they bought from Google.
Well,
like, I mean, I can't
Google's
believe...
lawyers, John. I mean, let's be honest.
They told them what to do. I ain't giving them. Sorry, John. I'm not giving them kudos for.
Well, you know what? They could have. They could have just said, you know, that's it. We're done. You're good to January, and that's it. Because I can't think of any other gaming company that would go back and do something like this, right? Like, I mean, sure, maybe if there's just let's say there's 1 million people on Stadia, still that's 1 million that you have to process and go through.
Maybe they were trying to not set precedent.
Yeah,
right. If you know what I'm saying,
avoid lawsuits and things like that. They probably just said,
now there's a basis for all that stuff. Right. So I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, they would. I mean, you know what it's like. Very litigious in the States. There would have been lawyers all over the place looking to approach all the community, all the subscribers. Guys were putting a class suit together. We've estimated that they owe you $14,000 and this, that, and the other. And they'd have gone after them, and you would have got $300 from that. So they just cut it to the chase. I think you're absolutely right, William. I think if they had been able to press a button and refund everybody that day, it wouldn't have seen the 1st of October. I think a lot of it's to do with that.
They did the math. How long do you think it's going to take to, sort through all these accounts and who owes what? And, probably about this amount of time. All right, let's pull the plug. And, they set it all up. I mean, this is a big, big move. I can't express that enough of how big it is for a company to go, hey, that whole venture, all right, pull the plug, refund everything. They're out shipping costs, manufacturing costs, hardware costs, software costs, the power it costs to run all that stuff in the cloud. They're out so much, and for them to just it blows my mind. It's really big news.
It is a shame. Guys, you saw yesterday, I sort of slightly tongue-in-cheek posted a screenshot from the Google Play PC beta, which isn't live yet. You can apply to get in the queue, but it said about play anywhere, save all your saves and play on any machine and stuff. Now I know it's referring to mobile games, but do you think that there's a likely crossover, even if it's not been in their minds up until now?
Like, what do you mean? You could go to the Play Store and buy a game, buy Far Cry 6, and launch it.
As in, somebody says, "Well, hang on a minute, we've got the tech."
If that's their plan, I think they shit the bed. I don't know. Being a Stadia user and doing it that way, I'm not going to get my refund and go buy Far Cry 6 from the Play Store. I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing that. No. So,
but the Play Store already has a massive consumer base. I mean, who may or may not have had any interest in a thing called Stadia, which had this really weird, bad smell it didn't deserve. But I understand and I know Google Play because I've been playing Candy Crush forever, and I'm quite happy to download stuff.
If that was the case, they should have came at us with a rebrand, not it's gone. You know?
Yeah. No, you're right. If they'd have said, "Hey guys,
all your games
we're moving to Google Play, and you can, and here you go, and here's a voucher to buy all your games over there and have fun."
Hot Wheels came out, we claimed it, and then right after that, they shut the store. I was getting ready to buy 5 minutes. I was getting ready to go in and buy FIFA 23, which I am really.
I bought
right now. So pissed I can't play the next gen soccer game.
Yeah.
But they shut the store like it was horrible.
Just like that. Yeah.
That new Spider Atari game. I saw Crow Resin's score, and I was right under it, and I was almost #1 on the leaderboard. So I was like, I'm going to buy that game. I bought it, and then within 5 minutes, the store was gone. I was wow.
You paid nothing for it. It's just going to take some time.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that's the weird thing, isn't it? Truthfully, but I think like John was saying, none of this was, I'm absolutely convinced. Nobody, I don't even think Phil Harrison necessarily knew what was coming.
No,
the guy is a hatchet man. He was being paid to be the front for this. I think bean counters that had absolutely no concern about the community or anything else. They've been given an order to shed X amount of money, even though they're still making massive profits. Because it's all about keeping the shareholders happy, not the consumers.
Correct.
Well, I have I live out here in California. I have a friend that works there. He sent me a message in Discord, and he told me, "Ray, we got blindsided. We did not see this coming.
Yeah.
What am I going to do?" And this is my friend. I've known this guy since the 90s, and so we were blindsided. We did not see this coming. I swear to God, we didn't. I didn't see this coming.
That's the equivalent of like a car engineer at the drafting board working like crunching hours into the late night to get this design ready, and then the next morning at the meeting they're like, "Oh, we scrapped that shit." What do you mean? No, we're not doing that model.
But then again, I've worked at HR. I've been called in and they said, "Ray, we need you to go to this property and this property." Oh, okay. Here's their check. Here's their severance pay. You need to send them on their way. That is the most hardest thing, folks, to do.
Yeah.
To tell somebody, take them out to lunch, and talk to them and fire them. It's hard. It's hard, but it's corporate. It's just a business, and you're on to the next day.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, like Jeff says here, we've got to find it again now. Sorry. Yeah, 671 billion. Their valuation has dropped. So you're the CEO, and you've got to find ways to get that valuation up, which means you've got to. You need to make more room in the garden. You've got to get rid of some of those prized petunias and those award-winning cucumbers because you need the space. And that's kind of what they've done. I don't think there was. There was clearly no malice. Nobody sat there and said, "Should we really cheese off Rokk?" Because his show on a Tuesday is a horrible thing. We tried moving the twos. What have we got to do to get rid of him?
Hey, they sponsor an F1 car. How much does it cost to sponsor an F1 car?
Yeah.
Well, they've still got to continue to market the business.
They could have put a Stadia logo on an F1 car spoiler or on the side.
That would have been fun.
Come on,
logo gate. Where is it in the F1?
All those pixel screens. I mean.
It was
every 2 seconds.
Last word here. I see Dino in the chat saying Stadia met and hired people a week before closing. It's a bad move too. You know what? I know for a fact too. 2 hours before Stadia was dead, they were onboarding new developers because I was talking with some developers and helped them get in contact. And they messaged me, "John, we're doing our onboarding this morning. This was before the news broke. I said, awesome. I can't wait to be able to, play your games. They were saying probably first quarter of next year. And no, like we said, absolutely.
It just shows nobody
on
knew.
that.
Yeah.
It was not a decision made by the board of Stadia.
Right.
And when they say, and this is opinion, when they say, well, we've got to give a reason, traction. And then you get people going, oh, that means it didn't have people play. No, it doesn't. It can mean a number of things. It can mean that they weren't, selling enough subscriptions or not as many as they'd forecast, and who knows what those forecasts were. It could mean that they weren't getting enough developers on board, and who knows what that's supposed to look like. It could mean they weren't selling as many games as they thought. It's a number of things it could have meant. It's a catch-all. It's a meaningless term. And nobody knew because they were just doing what they were doing. They'd probably had a board meeting sometime in September where they said, we're on track. The figures are, they're not going to set the world on fire, but we knew that it will be a long haul. And then somebody said, we got to trim the fat, boys. And I don't care where we are with Stadia. Get rid of it.
Where they literally had a big comment. How much is it going to cost to shut down and pay everyone out? How much is it going to cost to run for the next 5 years? How much, all these things were, those bean counters were busy and they didn't like what they saw.
There's no emotional intelligence in any of this. They've got to look around and go, where have we got this? Where are we going to have the smallest impact on the business in terms of consumers and so on? That what, Stadia's a struggling baby. We've got massive hopes for it, but it's never been as great. Get rid of it. And that was it. Boom. Phone up, Phil. Phil, it's going. What?
Well,
Sorry.
We're literally going to see other streaming services totally built off of Stadia, and they're going to lease the whole tech to them. They're going to do it all, and they're going to get a large chunk of money from that company and not have to deal with all of us individually.
Yep.
That's the way
and
it's
you know what?
happen.
I really do think it all goes back down to Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk did so well on Stadia, it made them said, holy crap, look at this. Why are we having an internal game studio here when we can have third parties, other developers bring these games? They're going to spend all that money and bring games like Cyberpunk to our platform and create the buzz and stuff. So I really think, and now looking back at it, as awesome as Cyberpunk was, that was the twinkle in the eye that started to where we ended up today. I bet you. It's
very astute thinking. Right, fellas, we've done enough dwelling on
yes.
Blood pressure's high, and it's there is more news in the cloud, fellas. So look at this. We've obviously got a ton of different platforms now that fall under the cloud gaming remit. So we're talking GeForce Now, we're talking Xbox Cloud Gaming, we're talking PlayStation Plus Premium, we've got Boosteroid, we've got Amazon Luna, and loads more. So we're going to bring the big news items, which means sometimes some of those platforms aren't going to get a mention because half the time they don't say a great deal. But here's some good stuff. This is an interesting one. William, have you had a chance to check this news item out?
No, but I've heard some rumors about a lot of this stuff that's on the horizon. So I guess select games are going to be available for purchase that will end up on XCloud apparently, and only some of them though, not all of them, correct?
Well, no, my understanding is that if you bought some games 2 or 3 years ago that have never been in the whole XCloud sphere, they're bringing a ton of games to the library so that you can play the games that you bought back in the day. Now, I think this is a move to put absolutely everything up in the cloud, so that you can see they're looking to transition from hardware. They're just doing it a hell of a lot faster than Sony. They're all going to get there. It's just not financially viable to keep investing in next gen, the R&D, the loss leading, the production, the marketing. There's no point in that. If they've just got the games, and you can play them in the cloud. So they did say that this was promised a couple of years back. I think 2020, they said, Microsoft had originally promised to expand its Xbox Cloud Gaming streaming to a full library of games back in 2020, but they're now saying definitely by the end of this year. It'll be a select amount of titles, but you can see where this is going. As quick as they can port those games to the cloud and expand the networks and the storage, you're going to get them all there. So, you know, if you all your old Halos, your old NBAs, all that stuff, you're going to get to play it, which means that these guys are absolutely 110% committed to the cloud. Otherwise, why would they bother?
Yeah.
As I see it, and they're not.
I really think what Xbox is going to want to do is with their S and X consoles, they're trying to get people to not know the difference if they're playing in the cloud or not, and then eventually they're going to just do away with the box.
That's
my opinion.
Yeah, they've had. You could see it's very clear ever since Stadia, when Stadia came on board there, that the way that Microsoft worded or Xbox worded is right now they're playing it as being a companion and not a replacement, because they see the revolt online and you know, social media and stuff like that. So they're playing it safe, which is good. But honestly, in my opinion, at this point in time, I think that the Xbox Cloud Gaming has the most chance at making cloud gaming more popular, I guess so we say, or more widely accepted out of any other solutions there at this particular time. So, you know, it'd be interesting to see. You know, we're seeing pretty much everything that comes to Game Pass is cloud enabled now, and now we're hearing more about you know, games that you've purchased that you might be able to play as well. So it's good news. It's all around good news.
Just to point out, that article was dated June, so it's a couple months old. But the point is that it states the end of the year, and I'm fairly certain. I think I just found the wrong article, that it had been raised again this week, which is why it was coming up. So definitely something to look forward to. And again, I think it's just indicative of where cloud is going. And I said yesterday on Rokk Around the Clock, I'm absolutely convinced it's no different for Sony. The only difference there is that it turns out Sony makes most of its money from its gaming, so they can't simply change overnight to a different business model. They have to try and do it very slowly and take everybody with them, but they will. Of course they will. I meant to cover this, or been trying to cover this now for days, and then something happened on Thursday which blew it out of the water. But Verizon and Razer making a 5G handheld mobile gaming device. This is interesting, isn't it? Now, Verizon, I've noticed, they're getting a lot into getting behind cloud gaming. I've seen them all over the place recently, sponsoring various blogs and, you know, just generally kind of making the case for it. Now, we've also seen a plethora of handheld devices, not least of which Logitech and Tencent, a massive uptake on Steam Decks. They're on top of production, but they're doing incredibly well. Have you guys had a chance to check this out over the last few days?
No.
I mean, other than the headline, I haven't read
honesty. We love it.
So let me tell you a little bit about this device then, fellas. It's a handheld device from Verizon and Razer, and it works on 5G, Ray. Now, there was this tweet last week. Breaking. Verizon, Razer, and Qualcomm. So Verizon's the network. Razer is known for doing gaming hardware predominantly, and Qualcomm provide the chips. Am I right in that order? Okay. And they're teaming up to make the world's first 5G. Now, I don't know if this is the world's only 5G. I would presume not. I'd assume it's Wi-Fi as well. Otherwise, that would be a bit daft, wouldn't it? It will allow you to play your favorite games regardless of whether you're gaming in the cloud, on an app, or streaming from your console.
So now, that would be like remote play? Is that what they're referring to? Like the PlayStation's remote play? Or
if you were doing the console piece, I would have thought so. Yeah. I don't know what 5G is like where you are. I'm actually going to find. I've never used it, and I've just got a phone coming tomorrow for the first time ever that's 5G enabled. So I have no idea what 5G is like, but I've been able to get up to 130, 150 gigs 4G on my phone around here. So, I mean, that's more than some folk have.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's some. I've easily able to get probably 400 or 500 meg on 5G. I
Wow,
played.
really?
Yeah, I played, and I know there's even people more. I think Dad Plays Games is even faster. You may want to touch base with him too, but I'm pretty sure that he said he got some pretty fast speeds on 5G as well. It's super capable. So it's just, of course, as long as you've got the antennas.
Are you waving at us, or are you?
I have a 5G phone, and I play my games on it, and it's freaking amazing.
Really?
Yeah, it works.
It works, especially. I play Cyberpunk, and it looks beautiful on the toilet. I mean, sitting on the couch.
Do you only played Stadia on it, Ray, or have you tried the other platforms as well?
No, man. I've done XCloud. Looks amazing. If you guys know, I also have Shadow PC. I played WWE 2K on my phone. It looks beautiful. Runs beautiful. Me and my wife, we had like 4Gs, and I was like, honey, it's time that we upgrade. We need 5G phones. So eventually this year we went and we got some 5G phones, and the 120 hertz makes a difference, folks. Makes a difference.
Wow.
Hurts, don't it?
So RazorCon, sorry, I just realized I haven't got this on the screen. Damn you, screen share. RazorCon is coming up on October the 15th, which is where they are going. This is a kind of pre-announcement here. So in about 11 days, you can tune into RazorCon and find out more.
RazorCon.
You know exactly what I said, Raymond. You naughty little cyborg.
I keep hearing something in my ear. Just doesn't.
And that's a Snapdragon.
Okay,
processor.
all right.
Yes. Snapdragon. So here we go. Look, digital celebration. So RazorCon coming up on in 10 days and 23 hours, almost to the hour. Is back for the third year, packed with even more gaming goodness. And as we say, oh look, join RazorCon reward. Razor store rewards. I might do. Yep, Snapdragon, and he looks a bit ninja. I wouldn't take him on after the old. I'm not sure what his deal is. He's the CEO of RazorCon. He's a fit looking dude.
Business. Look at him.
Don't challenge the Green Power Ranger. You don't challenge the Green Power Ranger.
That stare goes right through you, right? Look at that. He's like,
I'm scared. I don't know. I want to tune in on October the 15th.
Or he'll come beat you up, man. He'll beat you up.
You smile. No.
Look at this. They've got they've even got some game studios turning up as well. Wow. This is going to be one to watch, I think. I mean, I'm going to watch it anyway because I'm keen to find out more about that handheld. Even though I'm literally getting delivery this week of my Steam Deck. But there's always room for more tech, isn't that right, John? Always.
Yeah, always. Yeah, there's always.
Yeah, you can't get enough tech. It's a grand raffle up here, fellas.
Oh boy,
look at this.
Oh, wow, look at that.
One, live in America.
Two, watch. We love our Rokk Show.
We love our RGB
I
here.
do have the keyboard.
This was the big announcement, everybody. Rokk and I. This was the big announcement. We're sponsored by Razer.
Only when John told me, I thought I'd have to shave my beard off. I was quite worried. Right. Let me see what else have we got in the bag here. Oh, yes. Actually, Ray, you can cover this one. Amazon Luna. They're doing a special offer right now on a controller, and I think it's 30 days, aren't they? That you can to try out Luna. Oh look, he's in the chat. He's warped and morphed over there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying here, dude?
Well, you still got the still have the.
I know because I haven't got a link for it.
I'm sitting there and I'm waiting. Okay, when's he gonna put up the? When do I go in?
I'll find you something. I'll find you something. You go for it, my friend, and I'll find you something. I'll get a prop.
I mean, I already have my Amazon Luna controller in it, and I have my my Fire Stick.
That's not for you, dude. This is
But-
for everyone else that don't have it.
Ray's like, what? I think they tweeted it out, Rokk. I think the Luna.
They did. I'm just trying to find it. So basically, it was $40. Let's be honest. He's just here for eye candy for you folks. Let's be frank.
You gave me my section. I didn't know I had to.
Oh dear! I was thinking we should have got Vivian instead. We could have had Vivi section, couldn't we? That would have been.
Shout out to Vivi. Great dude.
So yeah, it was $39.95, and you instead of $60 for a Luna controller, and I think I'm right in saying 30 days September for of Luna as well, which is it's pretty good, isn't it, John?
Yeah, I would say so. It's a nice incentive to get people to try it. Like I said, the controller, $40.
This month on Luna, instead of 4 games, there's 6 for you to try if you are an Amazon.
Hang on, don't take this as Ray's stuff.
Oh,
get out of here! It's Ray's spot. It's his section.
Look at Ray.
Razor.
Razor, right?
Get off the screen.
Razor Cup 2022.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the link, Ray. I'll get there in a minute. Hang on. Right, okay. I'll take Razor off. I'll take it off. Hang on, buddy.
So are you going to RazorCon, Ray?
Here it is. Here you go. Razor's off.
There you go.
Jesus. Ray. I think the one there on the right. Yeah.
And this is a nice ultra style. Look, rechargeable.
No nicks.
No nicks.
Is this the news? Is Remington the new sponsor of the Rokk Show? You're slipping this in.
Oh, damn. Was it that obvious?
Should have brought up Manscaped.
He's like, what? Yeah, exactly. Right. He's like, I think I could do with a good old.
Are you trying to tell me I need the Manscaped or something, man?
I'm trying to find that deal, dude. I'm trying to find the deal. I found it. Oh, thank the holy Jesus!
Better razor.
Yeah, after the clipping, you can find it.
6 plays instead of 4.
Oh
gosh!
Hey, have you been aware of this new offer from Luna?
That is an amazing offer because I actually paid the $99.99 for my controller. So that is to get that for $40, folks, is a hell of a deal. Prime members can get the Luna controller and a month of Luna Plus for only $39.99.
Wow.
So now until October 12th. Doesn't help my friends in Canada or the UK.
No.
Out here in the USA, get that out there to UK and Canada. Come on now.
Ray, how is the Luna controller?
Yeah.
I love the controller. It works perfect with Luna. It is also Bluetooth. I have a TV over the fireplace. When my wife takes over my man cave and kicks me out, I can just go and just play some Luna on there, and it works perfect, no issues.
Wow.
Luna works really well on the older, like 2018 timeline Fire TVs. You can go that far back and play Luna on those TVs.
Yeah.
Oh right, okay, but and the current ones, you mean that's
and on the Samsung you have, right, William? You can play.
Yes, absolutely. Samsung's loaded on there as well. But I've got a old 2018 TV, and when I first tested Luna out, I took the controller up there, and once getting the controller set, all I had to say was Luna, and it actually it loaded the app and then started it up, and then I was playing.
Wow.
Yeah,
and of course, it uses the direct to server, the same as the Stadia controller as well.
Just so you know, though, it does take AA batteries. It does take AA batteries.
Not like an Xbox controller. Why do they do that, Ray?
Well, for price, cheaper, right? It cuts the production cost there. They don't have to.
Yeah. But listen, guys,
I've got
some breaking news, William. Some breaking.
We got the
You got it too?
No.
Stadia's back. What?
It's worse than that. Paris Hilton's 18-day search for a beloved Chihuahua diamond baby comes to an end.
Did she find it?
I don't really care. It's just an excuse to get a photo of Paris Hilton up. I'll be honest with you.
That dog is beautiful. She's okay.
Which
but
one?
The dog is beautiful. Yeah, which one?
Oh my God.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, come on, listen. This is very misogynistic, William. I would never.
The
I
dog
love
is
that dog.
trained.
That dog is
It's
beautiful.
trained to take photos. Did you see the perfect headshot of that dog? Look at that.
That's Photoshop.
Yeah. Do you think that's a puppet? I think that's a puppet. Isn't it?
It's got to be, man. Its smile is like weird. Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh my God.
That's stick on lips, Ray. That is.
Whoa.
That's so Photoshop. Look at that.
Yeah. Look at this.
He's mad at her. He's like, "What the hell did you do to your lips?"
Isn't that just the ugliest breed of dog on the planet?
Hey, any dog that can't get its full tongue in its mouth has a cute factor to it. I can't help it.
Fair point.
Like, look, if you take the tongue away, that's just a weird looking alien head. Like,
I
little
can't.
tongue
Yeah.
hanging out. Little
I
cute.
can't. Yeah, you're right, mate. You're right. Anyway, meanwhile, back on Twitter. Oh, hang on. We got a message. It might be that I've got it. Yeah, no, I was waiting for it. John, please don't leave. Please don't leave.
Don't worry. I'll be back next Tuesday.
How
Don't
come you
worry.
can tell your boss you're taking a day off for Hot Wheels, but you can't hang around for us for an hour? What's that all about?
I actually have done it before. I have taken
have,
off.
you have.
Guys,
You
you
have.
didn't know. He did tell me he wears no pants during our show, folks.
Does he?
He wears no pants.
It's hot. in
Whoa,
the-
whoa, whoa,
Oh,
whoa!
look, it's true. It's true. Wow, look at that. Revelations, chapter 7. Wowzer. John, thank you so much, my friend. What have you got coming up this week before you go?
Well, before I go, I just want to say, check out Remington Razors. They provide a smooth shave. And use code Avon10 to save 10% on Avon. You know what? I saw Anthony. He was in the chat earlier. You know, I'm starting to pick up on some of his schemes here. So Remington, Avon, here we go. Check it out. You'll get some great prizes, some great products. But later this week, content-wise, streaming. I'm shifting over. I'm still going to be streaming some Stadia and playing with the community and games all the way up until the lights turn out. But I'm also now introducing Xbox Cloud Gaming, GFN
John,
into my.
I'm so excited for your Scorn stream. I can't wait for that because that is a.
No, I'm
awesome-looking
more
game.
excited for Ray's Scorn stream. Just because there needs to be, we can't have bias in the chat. Ray's doing one as well, aren't you, Ray?
Of course,
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, and it'll be good. But John's will be good too.
Yeah. So, but I still need to. I've been working on the graphics and the stuff like that for the rebranding and things like that. So later this week, I'll get stuff scheduled out and start up and going. But yeah,
wait to see it, John. I can't wait to see
yeah,
it.
it's like I said, one door closes and another one opens. So
yeah, this is true. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us as always, my friend. And we will see you next Tuesday in a nice way. And we'll see you before then, I'm absolutely sure as well.
Yep.
So enjoy the rest of your work day. What is it for you? It's what is it, 1 p.m. coming up to the end of
a little after 1. That's why I got that 3 o'clock shadow here at 1 o'clock. So I need to get my Remington razor out here. You know, the electric.
Avon
it's so
10.
good. Yeah, I know. I use the Avon after for the skin. You know, for the conditioning of the skin and to make it pretty. Oh my gosh!
See this,
you
folks?
wouldn't believe it. Check it out. Avon 10. You know, I'm coming for you, Anthony Cowboy. You're in the chat there. I saw Dr. Spaceman, Avon Cloud Gaming. That sounds good to me. We'll check you all out later. Thank you so much, everybody. Avon 10.
The skin smoother than a cloud.
Oh my gosh.
We've got it, mate. We've got it. Brilliant. Big round of applause for John there, folks. Lovely chap. Fellas, meanwhile, back at the news. So yeah, we touched on From. I was gutted that we're not going to get to see From Space. We was going to literally, it was a free pro game coming out in October. We were that close, but go on, Ray, go on.
I was just saying, he changed the date too.
Yeah, that's true. We would have had it, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yes, we would, because it was coming out on the Friday, the day that we got the pro games. We would have actually had From Space.
Yeah.
And they've got a demo, and here it is. So you can go and play it on Steam. Now, it may or may not be on GeForce Now. I genuinely don't know yet. We don't typically find out until Thursday publicly what's coming out. But they may well put it up as a free-to-play demo, which they've done in the past. So hopefully they do, because that would be great. But I've really brought, although this isn't strictly speaking a cloud item, I just thought, because we'd all been so looking forward to it coming to Stadia, it was good to know that you can still kind of give it a little play. Of course, you can buy it when it goes on sale elsewhere, but I'm going to go and give this demo a go, because I've been so looking forward to this game. It's going to be so good. What else have we got in the bag of cloud news? Oh, this one's quite good. And again, Ray, I'm going to you've experienced Shadow, haven't you? You're a
experience. I have a Shadow PC. Yeah. They emailed me. I was hoping to get my upgrade October, but they said, "Hey, it's coming November." So yeah, I'll get my upgrade in November.
Do you largely use it for game playing, game streaming?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking it should be included in the mix, because if you think about it, the only difference between Shadow and, say, Boosteroid or any of the others that are, they're essentially preloading the games, and that's all you can do on them. Whereas these guys, you have to install it yourself, but it's predominantly the same. It's a streaming service, and you can install the games of your choice and any other applications that you want. How do you get on with it? Do you find it? Sorry, William.
But you could say use it as like a workstation as well. Instead of for gaming, use all those capabilities of the actual system towards a workload you're trying to output.
This is true. My funny enough, only today my eldest, who's doing her MA, a postgrad, a little way up the road, I gave her a PC to take with her, because she's doing graphics and she's doing a lot of 3D stuff and animations and things for her degree, her post degree. And so this PC works brilliant. It's got a 2080 card in it. It's more than she needs. Works really nicely. But she's also got a little MacBook, which she takes to uni. But it's not man enough for the job. And she was saying, "Oh, I need to buy a more beefier Mac. It's no good." And I said, "Well, look, there is this thing called Shadow, which you can run on your laptop, and it's going to give you better than the PC that I've given you." And I said, if you think about what you'd pay for that, it's essentially the equivalent of like 3 years that it would take you to pay back on a high-end MacBook. So there's lots of use cases. Anyway, they're expanding out Denmark, Italy, and Sweden. So obviously, if they're a French outfit anyway, aren't they, Ray? Shadow?
I think they're let's see. I think they're not French. I think they're somewhere else. I think they're more of you know what? Nope. I think you're right. I think they are out.
Just say yes.
Yes.
No, I think they're French, because they went into just narrowly avoided going into liquidation, and then they got picked up by.
Oh, that's right.
Do you remember another French company? And of course, France itself has these really, really tough laws on companies outside France buying in. Yep, and Dr. Spaceman, good to see you, my friend.
Thank you,
Doctor.
So did they buy them out, or did they invest?
No, they bought them. I think it was pretty much a garage sale. They were, they what they tried to do was build mass consumption at the cheap end. So, the usual way with the old school startups, you'd lose money for 10 years, but you'd build such a massive consumer base that nobody could touch you when you started to charge. You had them there, and they kind of tried going, but they ran out of cash. It's, you've got to really have some significant investment to go down that road. But they the guys have turned it around. As you know, Ray, they got rid of the low end prices. They concentrated on the 20% that were prepared to pay more, and I think there's a use case in the case of my daughter, but also equally, if you don't want to invest in a cloud platform because you're concerned about where it's going, or they don't have the games on it that that you like to play, then you can go down this kind of a route instead and put whatever games you want on there. And of course, Photoshop or anything else that you want to run, some dodgy spam server.
Yeah, I think when I think a lot of people when they think when they think of Shadow, they think of games, but I actually used it for work. I was a property manager. I would travel to different properties, and my boss would ask me for certain figures or certain stuff. I could just pull it up on my phone. When I was on vacation, I had games that are installed on my Shadow, and I could just, I'm at the airport, boom, I got my PC in my hand on my phone. I can play the games and I can do other stuff. But like I said, when people say, I hear people always telling me that, 45 out here, 45, the upgrade is going to cost me $45 a month. And I know some people say, damn, that's really, really expensive. But if you look at how much David spends on McDonald's every day, ordering DoorDash and Uber, and you add all that up.
Hey, I will say this though, Ray.
That's more.
I know you can't, I know you're not proficient in it yourself, but I tell you what though, if you did like within 3 years, you're basically renting a PC you're never going to own, but in 3 years you could have actually purchased that rig to sit next to you.
Yes,
but it's give or take. It's everyone has a different use case,
and that's true. And like I said, that's true. I mean, but I'm also cloud.
Yes, right.
The cloud has really, my GFN is installed on Shadow. So when you guys are seeing my GFN streams, they're all on Shadow. I'm streaming.
Well, I really think everything in the future is going to be like this, even like the way Pixar does their movies and stuff, and all that video editing, all of it's going to be done in the cloud eventually, I think.
Yeah, no, you're right. Don't forget, William, the use case is probably not people that are always going to play at home. I mean, in the case of my daughter, she needed to be able to run the stuff away from where she's living. So she can't kind of pick up her PC and take it with her. She could buy a super awesome laptop, but there's limitations there as well, as you know.
Yeah. I had my Chromebook. I have Shadow on my Chromebook. So when I was in my hotel room, I was playing all my games on my Shadow and playing Stadia and playing other stuff. So like I said, different strokes for different folks. Once upon a time ago, I used to be into building PCs. I'm not. I'm old. I ain't got time to sit there and go through stuff. I like to just get in and play and stuff. And if you're blessed with the money, go for it. If you're not, totally understand. If it's not for you, like I said, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. And also, and this is one of the criticisms that I've seen a lot recently with, say, GFN, is, they are definitely skewed more towards that kind of PC gamer who doesn't mind. William, you and I like this. We don't mind having a little tinker, getting into the BIOS and messing about. But most of the people that were into Stadia, they deliberately loved Stadia because it was simple. It's like I've said before, it was more like Apple versus Android. It just happened.
I feel like I'm at a disadvantage now. What I mean by that is I got to have like 4 services to try to replace Stadia, and I'm still not there yet. I've got a full. I have a full rig. I got to set my fan curves. I got to unplug some HDMIs, plug in the other one, go out in the other room and set the TV before I can play. On Stadia, it was a button.
One more thing, guys. My company paid for it because I used it for work. Okay, so just so you know, I had all my files and my work and stuff like that, and so
see, not a lot of people know this, but Ray actually owns Qualcomm, don't you, Ray? You all think he's just at home playing games, and you don't know the half of it. Right,
Bro.
I think that'll do on the news front. I've got a couple of old bits of news, but we've chit-chatted for so long on stuff. I think we should now. Do I want to play? No, we're not going to play the theme. I've got to mess about with the themes, guys, and get all the new musics and stuff. But we have got what I'm affectionately calling Williams Wangers.
Hey, come check out Williams.
Wait a minute, hold on. I ain't doing no part of that. I'm not going to be a wanger.
It's time for Williams Wangers, otherwise known as Simply Pawns Pro Tips. What game we got today, buddy?
Well, today we're going to be discussing Shadow of War. And before I get into this title, the first game is available for free on Amazon Prime Gaming. So you can go over there and snatch it up for nothing. It's the precursor to this game. So it's a whole game in itself, but Shadow of Mordor is like a proof of concept for this game, sort of. Meaning that it takes the Shadow of Mordor and it builds on top of it with multiple regions and a whole bunch of like new mechanics and stuff. But definitely check out Shadow of Mordor. It is free on Google. It is free on Amazon Prime Gaming. But this gem here is Shadow of Mordor by Monolith Studios. I think it was 2018. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but it was a fantastic game. You play in the Lord of the Rings setting. You're a character by the name of Talion, and Celebrimbor. I'm probably saying that name wrong as well, but Celebrimbor is the ring maker who helped Sauron build make the rings of power. Oh. And Sauron double crosses him, and he dies a long time ago. But you come across this guy as a wraith. He's dead. He bonds to your character, and you become a grave walker, they call you. And so now it's very much like Assassin's Creed, and the Arkham games combined, the Batman games. You have combos and parries you can do. You also have builds you can do. As you kill these orcs, they drop special weapons that you can then upgrade, enhance, put gems in to make them do more damage or do other things. But the most special part of this game is the voice acting and the Nemesis system. The Nemesis system is if I approach a group of orcs and one of them is actually a warlord or whatever, and they turn and start talking to me, they actually have a confrontation with me. If I grab that guy and beat his ass and I throw him into fire and he catches on fire, right? And then I leave the area. The next time I see him, he'll walk up and go, "The last time we fought, you burnt me. You're never going to do that again." And then so it builds on top of all these interactions you have with these NPCs, and they remember. And if a grunt kills you, all of a sudden they're promoted to a war chief. So you can die to a character multiple times and they become your nemesis, meaning they get buffs and then they're even harder to kill. But the voice acting is top notch. It's an epic adventure. The story is so well crafted. You can play through Shadow of Mordor and get your companion. And at the end of that game, you can save it and transport that companion through a certain feature into this game. He doesn't look exactly like the character you got in Shadow of Mordor, but it is supposed to represent that same protector or whatever you got in Mordor. You can carry it over here into Shadow. There's 5 regions. There's a whole bunch of mechanics. You have a large skill tree. I could literally talk about this game like 4 times during this segment. Do 4 different segments on this game. But it's a large world. There's a lot of busy work to do. You can vary your attacks through the builds. Like I said, you could cause fire damage, poison damage, all of this stuff. This is very early on in the game. As you can see, everybody's really low in health. But watch this as I go to attack this guy. You suddenly get into unless it already happened, you get into a conversation. Yeah, it must have already happened. But anyway, so every time you can kill one of these guys, Rokk, and let's say you play for 2 hours and you kill a guy, and then an hour into your game, this guy pops back up and says he cheated death, and he wants your head for that. Like they just remember your interactions, and it's extremely cool. The Nemesis system is very special, and it's only in these games. I haven't seen it used anywhere else, and it's a really cool type of mechanic. You can also, it's very much like Assassin's Creed as well. You can sneak around, all that kind of stuff. You have these towers that you can go unlock, much like how you synchronize areas in Assassin's Creed. And that will unlock other things to do on the map. It's just overall a really, really, really fantastic game. And there's so many layers to it. Eventually, Rokk, you end up with a ring of power yourself, and you can brainwash these orcs and these towers that you roll into, and you disrupt the hierarchy, and then you claim the tower. Now you can go around and claim and brand these orcs that look cool or that you really like, or they have the abilities you like, and then put them in the tower. Now that's your tower, and they're guarding it, and you're the man. It's really, really cool.
It looks really good as well, William. Graphically, it looks gorgeous.
Yes, the musical score is really fantastic. The problem with this game is when it first released, it had a loot box structure system. They tried to do orc loot boxes to where you open a loot box and it's a roll of the dice of how good the orcs are you got. It didn't work for them. They had to backtrack and pull it out of the game, which made this game suffer for it. And a lot of people avoided it because of the loot box controversy. But I would suggest everybody go claim Mordor, which is the first game of the series, for free on Amazon Prime Gaming if you're a Prime holder. And then check this one out. I think you can get it on Xbox or Steam for like $8. I mean, it's super cheap, and you'll have hours and hours and hours of play. And if you like voice acting, you will fall in love with this game. It's
the orcs what made this game for me, man. Just
yes.
Interaction with the orcs.
Like they literally talk shit and make fun of you. Like if they've killed you, if they've killed you 3 times, they're like, aren't you dead? Nah, I killed you. We put you in the ground. Like,
are they English?
Yes.
Yes.
They have.
That explains it.
All kinds of cool accents, man. All kinds of cool accents. And this area you're seeing me run around in is very small. There's 5 areas, regions to conquer. There's 5 of these castle things to conquer. And then you can put your guys in there, and your friends can try to conquer your castle with all of their orcs. So you go in, you literally have a conquest. They call it conquest.
Wow.
You take your band of orcs and go invade your friend's castle and try to take it over and kill their orcs. It's incredibly fun. They also have the Nemesis, or the not Nemesis. They call it something else, but there's these missions scattered throughout the map. If you have friends on your friends list, if they've played this game and they've died somewhere, you can go into their world and try to get revenge on that guy that killed them.
Ooh.
It's really, really cool, guys. Nice. It's one of my favorite games of all time because I will let these orcs talk shit, and then I talk shit right back to them as I beat them.
I'm definitely going to play this. I think I have claimed it, but I started playing something.
Now, the big difference between the first one that you can claim for free in this game is that the first game doesn't have as many mechanics, and the first game has a little better graphics. And what I mean by that is not the textures and this and that, but like the orcs themselves are a little cartoony in this one. Okay, compared to the first one. In the first one, when you have a real nice graphics card running and stuff, the textures, these things look like you'd have to wash your hands if you touch them. You don't quite get that feeling from Shadow of War, but Shadow of Mordor, it looks like if you touched an orc, you definitely have to wash your hands. It's just an amazing series, and it's near and dear to my heart. You guys should check it out, especially if you have Prime, because you can get it free. Not this title, but the first one.
Yes, and then you can buy this one. It's relatively low priced anyway.
Yes, extremely cheap.
Fantastic, my friend. Thank you for that. Somebody said, I think it was Primo said in the chat, where's it available? And as it happens, I've got an extra treat for you chaps, because there is this website, which I've discovered, cloudbase.gg, where you can actually type the name of a game. And it will tell you what cloud system it's playable on, where you can play it. So you choose your game, and then it actually tells you where.
Look at that.
How cool is that? Yeah. So it's not available on Boosteroid, Xbox Cloud. I thought it was on Xbox.
That's Hot Wheels Unleashed.
Hot Wheels Unleashed, yeah. So it depends on the game, obviously. But if we put what was this
Shadow of War? Shadow of War.
Shadow of War. You shall not pass. There you go. So it's obviously on Shadow because you can install it yourself.
It's on XCloud.
XCloud. Air GPU was one I've not heard of. Have you heard of it?
I haven't heard of that either. That's interesting.
No, yeah, I want to check that out.
Now, this is interesting. This was one of the games that I played on GeForce Now originally. This is one of the games that was there that was removed. In the beginning, almost all of your Steam titles were on Steam. As long as it didn't require a mouse and keyboard, you almost guaranteed to play it on GFN.
Wow.
Yep, and then all that was removed.
It's a good little website, this, isn't it? I've just put it in my favorites,
awesome.
cloudbase.gg, and they're updating. They've got 2,500 games in their database. So,
nice, Dre. Thank you for that information.
Cloud PC like Shadow. Paper Hour. Thank you, my friend. Yeah, my business, we use virtual PCs for all my team because everybody's working from home. We took the decision earlier in the year to work as a hybrid, and everybody uses Amazon Azure, Microsoft Azure virtual PCs, which work at about $16 a month. That's not hugely expensive, but they don't need super powered GPUs and stuff. It's all coding. So there you go, a little insight into the world. So that was brilliant. Thank you, William, and a little extra bonus in us finding that as well, which was good.
Yeah, the awesome thing is you can claim one of them for free, and the other one is very, very inexpensive.
Yeah, cheap to play. Raymond, your new section, which will come eventually with its own beautiful video when I've got the time to do it. We've not even really got a proper name for it yet. It's just kind of we call it Ray's Spotlight, but it's you looking at the games that are coming to cloud either from today moving forward, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What do we got, my friend?
Well, what do I have? Right now, just like my friend said about Prime Gaming, Luna has, if you got Prime, you can right now play for free Skatebird, Star Wars Pinball, Metro Exodus, Monster Truck, Blair Witch, and Earthworm Jim. If you got Luna and you got Prime, I highly suggest you guys go and play that. And also, which I'm excited, I'm actually probably going to play this right after this, but Chivalry 2 is on Xbox Game Pass for the cloud. You can right now hack and slash through Knights and Warriors. This game is awesome. It is on Game Pass right now. You can play it on the cloud.
Is that the Ubisoft one, Ray? Chivalry?
No.
What's the one? For
Honor. That's For Honor on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
This one's just as brutal.
Is it?
Yeah. So also coming up on the cloud for XCloud is Costume Quest. That's coming out October 11th. And then just a couple of things on GeForce Now. There's a Genshin Impact update version 3.1. Plus, for GFN members, you actually have a special pack that you can claim. I think they sent those into the email for GFN players. I know I got one and I claimed it's certain starter packs for the game. And then Boosteroid, and this is my last one, Generation Zero, which is a really awesome game, is on Boosteroid. And all these games are out today. You can play in the cloud.
Last one.
Hey, I have some sad news. We all know the game Killer Queen Black.
Yeah.
A letter from Matt, the CEO of Liquidbit. It's with a heavy heart that we're announcing that after 3 amazing years, Killer Queen Black will be going offline as of November 30th, 2022.
Oh no.
Are you serious?
I can't believe it's been 3 years. I remember playing that with Lee.
Wow, I had a lot of fun with that game.
We just played on Jeff's charity stream. I played with Jeff. Yeah.
Oh dear. Was that? Do you know? I mean, I don't suppose you know much about why, or was it?
Well, it says it's not something that was planned or foreseen. It was built on Amazon GameSparks, the service that provides the back-end functionality for a game. Unfortunately, Amazon decided to shut down this service on September 30th.
Whoa.
So they were dependent on their back end.
This I think is the problem that cloud gaming is going to have moving forward. It's not whether cloud gaming itself is a problem. It's absolutely freaking amazing. It's the people providing that service. And if, like we've just seen, two big service providers decide they're going to pull the plug.
Yeah.
I mean, Amazon. I mean, how many people use Amazon Web Services and therefore assume that if they're providing a cloud system, they all provide them. They all provide them. Azure has one. Obviously, Google has one. Amazon, you'd think one of the big, IBM even has one. But what do you do if you're a developer?
Yeah.
Other than get behind someone like GeForce Now and say, yeah, well, it's on Steam. Even if you fold, people can still buy my game and play it there.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, it's just bad news. That now it doesn't mean that Liquidbit is done. I'm sure they're going to be making more stuff. It just means that in this instance, this game is going to be shut down.
Well, what a shame. Well, it was a great game as well. A great game. It was many a fun play on Stadia. Wow. Ray, thank you so much, my friend, for your Ray's spotlight there. We'll come up with a proper name that kind of has some alliteration to it. Oh, look, Black Nut Ron is here.
Oh my God.
I love Ron.
So you guys know Black Nut is a cloud gaming
yeah, better point that out. Do you know, I've not really had a proper look at Black Nut. Have you? You've tried them out, haven't you, Ray, or not? Or are they?
Ray's had a good look at them.
Been looking at them for 49 years, folks. They ain't going nowhere.
Wow.
Yes, I have looked at Black Nut. I've almost downloaded the app, and then like I said, there's a lot of other cloud stuff out there. Just check it out.
It's difficult, isn't it? It really is. And we're seeing it a lot right now with thanks, William, with Stadia, people saying, well, there's all these different places. Where do I go? And the truth is, I've got, we all have lots of experience with GeForce Now, lots of experience of Xbox cloud gaming, lots of experience of PlayStation, but I've not tried Black Nut. I've tried Boosteroid, and I thought, well, yeah, it's okay. It adequately plays.
There was someone hit me up in my DMs. I'll be getting some keys in the future to try out a new cloud platform coming soon.
Oh, cool.
But is it going to be a similar thing to these other guys? A storage place with pre-installed games and nothing else that goes with that? Because I think you're going to see millions of those. I think they're just going to be leaning on third-party solutions like immersive streaming.
Did they ever figure out? I know Black Nut isn't Boosteroid, but did they ever figure out the banning situation to where you would play on their platform and possibly your account gets flagged? Or is that not a thing anymore?
Well, they're still around. It's still. I mean, they still got the games and stuff. I think if you're like into retro and like they got a lot of retro and older games.
I assume you're referring to these fellas, right?
Yes.
So I did actually register, but I never got the email. But you know what worries me? Who lets an E drop off the end of anywhere?
Dre says it still happens on Warzone.
Really?
Yep.
What does?
Yeah, that would just stink if you logged into Boosteroid to play your Call of Duty and then your account gets banned. Just for playing on that service.
You know what? I'll get a key. I'll look at it. I'm interested. I'm all for
guys.
Any developers out there, I'm all for. You got
try any game before you buy it.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, we were getting there with Stadia, weren't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were real close.
Yeah. Yep. General Catalyst, Luno. I did notice. I think Boosteroid uses NVIDIA cards, doesn't it? I think. I noticed it had said partnered with NVIDIA. And then, well, they have two things going on here, actually. One is that you can sign up to use and play in the system as a player. And then down here, you can launch your game on them as well. But there's a dropped off. Why? The trouble is there's a lot of there's a lot of once bitten, twice shy devs out there right now, aren't there? That put a whole heart and soul into porting games to Stadia.
That makes it better, Vet. That's not as bad as I thought it was then. Vet's saying that if you log into Boosteroid to play Call of Duty Warzone, they state before the game even starts that your account has the potential to get banned or flagged.
Why is that all right then?
Well, I mean, at least they warn you.
Well, yeah, but it's like saying, yeah, come on upstairs, but I have got gonorrhea.
Yeah, there's a chance. There's a chance you might leave with the herp. Don't worry.
Burn, 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 the ring of fire.
On that note, fellas, I think we probably call it a day. Well, we got there. We got to the end of the transitional show, as I call it. It was tough going because we're still hurting. We're hurting, folks, but we're getting there, aren't we? We're getting there. Wilhelm, he of the Pwnd Gaming. What you got coming up, fella? Are you concentrating on say XCloud, or are you trying all the different services?
Yeah, I'm just playing whatever tickles my fancy that day, I guess. The last stream the last stream I played Battlefield 1, and it was an amazing time.
Great stream. Yeah,
running around shooting people, so much fun.
Capture the flag.
Yeah. But later today, around 4:00, we're doing a episode of Man Cave on my channel, and we're going to be discussing Stadia. And the topic basically is did YouTube influencers help the demise of Stadia? Did all their shit talking in the beginning and all that stuff, and the way they got the tech wrong, and did
you
that
think
help?
so, wouldn't you? But not from what we're hearing.
Right.
If the demise was because we think it was to do with traction, but actually it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't. Correct.
Yeah, probably very little to do with it. But it couldn't have been nice for the Stadia team, and it certainly wasn't nice for us, was it? But that's what time is that one, my friend?
4:00 today, this afternoon.
CST. Central time.
Yep. And then Wednesday, I think I'm back to Shadow of War. I'm gonna check out some more of that, get a little further.
That looks so good.
It's fun. I think you would really like it, Rokk.
It really does look up my street. Absolutely, it does.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I'm going to be
you can get a bodyguard, and if the bodyguard really likes you, while you're fighting, let's say somebody gets the upper hand. Oh, they're going to kill me. No, here comes your bodyguard out of nowhere. Shoulder checks them out of the way and saves your life. It's just really cool. It's really cool.
I'm looking forward to that. Raymond, Ray, the human cyborg.
Well, you guys know what I play in the clouds. I've been streaming other platforms, and tonight I'll be doing my Luna Zone, and I'm going to be playing the Legends of Heroes: Trails from the Zero. It's a Japanese role-playing game. I'll be streaming that tonight, 10 p.m. Pacific time, and then I'd also do a sports show with Vet. Right before that, actually, 7:00 Pacific, 10:00 Eastern. Me and Vet, we talk about American football, Sports Talk 101. Nice. And then I'm surprised you didn't mention this, SPG, but Retro Rewind.
Yes.
We have some very special what is the naked retro?
we have
naked retro players.
Yes. We have some nudists coming on.
What?
I don't believe they'll be nude, but we have some
nudists going to be nude on the panel.
We were right from the beginning.
All of us are going to be nude on the panel.
I have to keep it on brand. I do have this segment, Williams Wangers. So we're going in the paint hard, man. We're going in.
Williams Wangers. Oh, dear.
But yeah, this should be a lot of fun, though. Yeah, this Sunday at 2 p.m. CST, we'll be doing an episode of Retro Rewind. It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I do Cloud Nation TV with Dr. Spaceman Vet JD.
Yes.
Myself.
Great show.
Fridays, Thursdays, whatever. Doc switches it up, but guys, make sure you check that out.
Brilliant, chaps. Do you know, every time I do this, I shake. Look at this. It's like I'm in San Francisco, Ray. And I haven't got that hurricane-proof windows.
We've been getting little earthquakes, so we got our
house. I don't want to tempt it. I don't want to be anybody saying it. If it wasn't for Rokk, it wouldn't have happened. So I'm back tomorrow with Rokk Around the Clock, which is now like this, but it's a mini version, and we do it every day. Yeah. Thursday night, we've got the first episode of Rokk Players. It's now called The Rokk Players. It's going to be I've put a couple of older episodes up on my channel which have actually had more views than the originals did, which is amazing. But the way I look at it is this: if you want to know why I'm doing another cloud gaming show about kind of cloud gaming news, the difference is I see it. It's yin and yang. This is light-hearted, great fun. We normally don't take such a morose look at the news. We have a laugh. Thursdays is going to be humor, but it's more of what I call a cloud gamers show. So it's going to be more nerdy, more deep dive. We're not just going to, we're not going to assume that you may or may not have a cloud platform or that you've just become new to gaming. It's going to be that kind of a show. So that's happening Thursday, 8 p.m. UK, whatever that is across the world. And then we will be back next Tuesday for some more The Rokk Show. Fellas, thank you so much. Love you to pieces. Let's get the hell out of here.
Claim your free games, folks.
Claim your games. Claim your game. Hey, there could be Ray's Claim Your Games.
There you go.
Yeah, Ray's Claim Your Games. I could do a theme tune. I could do that. Ray's Claim Your Games.